students. My name is Nick Rosita. I'm the computer science supervisor for Loudoun County Public Schools. And it is an absolute pleasure to have my friends from Equinix Digital Infrastructure talk about their scholarship opportunities and how they can provide you with rich and full opportunities to get you prepared really well for the workforce. It's such a pleasure to be joined by Jocelyn, with Damon and Daisy, who is going to orchestrate the chat, make sure that she gets your questions answered in there. But I'd love to turn it over to Jocelyn, Damon, and Daisy from Equinix so that they can talk about all the fantastic opportunities that they have in store for you. So very excited to be here. Jocelyn, do you want to go ahead and start with introductions?
Yes, absolutely. Hi, everybody. Hope everybody is having a great start to the year, and thank you for joining us today in this virtual career fair. My name is Jocelyn, and I actually started my journey here in Equinix operations as a data center facilitator for the Miami and Atlanta metros right before the pandemic. I came in here with no data center knowledge. And thankfully with Equinix, I learned my way while working with technicians and engineers in the field, and also taking online courses that Equinix provides free for their employees. And now I recently transitioned into a new role as an executive assistant to our Senior Vice President of Americas Operations and Regional Vice President of IBX Operations. So I can tell you my experience here has been phenomenal, especially being able to work with coworkers from all over the world, which brings me to my current role here in the scholarship program as a program development support and resource manager. And I'll have Damon take it away.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Damon. I am a senior manager of training and development for Equinix in our East region. And my journey is a little different from Jocelyn's. I started out a lot like you guys in the, trying to figure out what I was going to do. College passed me by, had a poor family and all that. But I ended up going to the Army, and I learned a lot of things from the Army. I learned a lot about telecommunications, and that's where I started in the Army. In the Army, I went to college. I was trying to graduate. I'm going to another place, going across the world, trying to make it. But I ended up working, after I got out to military, I ended up working for a lot of different contracting companies, doing a lot of different things, in telecommunications. I was installing transport nodes in Mississippi, just places to do, just working, just to keep my way up, and still going to school and still making it. And then I ran across Equinix as a Sprint employee. I ran across Equinix because Equinix liked our data centers, and they ended up wanting to buy them, and Sprint was just in the mood to sell them off for some reason. So I ended up coming to Equinix way back in 2003, and I left because the company was so great. I left and worked for a small company called Adobe. I don't know if you know it, a software company, probably the premier software company in the world. I worked for them for 7 years, and Equinix was right there calling me back. And I took the opportunity to come back and really enjoy, and always enjoy my stays. I've been a technician. I've been a manager. I'm senior manager. I manage data centers all over the country almost. And now I'm out here, and I'm really doing something with training. So I train our whole region, and all the little trainings that we have. I put a lot of pressure on people to finish their training, and that ended up leaving me as somebody going from college to college trying to make it. Now I am an adjunct professor at Nova, NVCC, and I teach college students now. And I like what I'm doing, man, and hopefully one of you guys may be my students. And I'm also involved in all the scholarship programs, so it's good to meet you guys.
All right, we can go to the next. Oh, Daisy.
Oh, this on me, right, Josh?
We can go to the next slide. I can introduce myself really quick. My name is Daisy Sauls, and like Jocelyn, I actually started in May of 2020, right smack in the middle of this pandemic. And I also did not have any experience in the data center industry. But since I started in this company, it's and really just gotten to work with a lot of different industry members, I've just fallen in love with it. It is a booming industry. I'm sure that some of you probably attended TJ's session that was, I believe, just before ours, and he probably walked you through just all of the opportunities that exist in this data center industry and all of the different career paths that you can take. So I am so excited to be introducing you to the scholarship program that we have. TJ's very familiar with it as well. I actually am the program manager for this. I started off as the executive assistant, and Jocelyn actually took over my position. So it's been a fantastic journey, and this is a great team, and they've really developed something very special here for Loudoun County Public School students. Thank you.
Josh, this is me, right, Josh?
Yes.
All right, good deal. I was on my phone a few minutes ago, and I checked my email. I went on Facebook. I had a Zoom call. I also had to check my TikTok, because, you know, don't tell nobody. I checked my TikTok too, like everybody else. I ordered me some food from DoorDash, but I had to give the guy directions. So I pulled out my Google Maps and told him how to get to my house. And on the side, my wife was looking at Pinterest on my phone. What do all those things have in common? They're all apps, and you guys use them every single day. I just figured out how to use TikTok, and it's crazy. I can't stop it now. And they're all apps, which of course generates data. And data is something that's booming in a place called a data center. We need the data from these companies here. And guess what? Some of these, maybe all of these, could be our customers right now at Equinix. You guys use applications every single day. Sometimes we have to pry your hands off those phones sometimes, because I know how it is to have young people in my house who are always on the phones and their tablets, and my grandkids and all that. And but those apps are a vital part of our lives. And not just that, some applications that we may not know of handle power plants, nuclear power plants. Data goes through these places, our phone system, our hospitals. Every place you can think of uses an application or some type of server or system to keep their companies running. You go to the next slide. That's what Equinix come in. Do you know, when you are using Wi-Fi or internet, you are actually using Equinix. I don't know if any guys realize that, because all these companies, you can see to the, as I look at the right of the side, Amazon Web Service, Microsoft, Grid, Cloud Sigma, all these different type companies, any company you can think of have a relationship with a data center in some kind of way. Be it storage, be it security, be it backup, whatever you can think of. These major companies all around the world, even smaller companies you guys don't realize or know about, have a presence in an Equinix data center. And we provide connectivity for them. We provide the connection for them to connect to other carriers so they can send their messages all around the world. We're interconnected, Equinix. So if we have an Equinix type connection, you can be in our one of our newest data centers in Singapore in milliseconds. Your data can travel just that fast. And now those apps you have working, now hopefully you can see a place where those apps are actually stored there. They're stored inside a data center. And we have remote users connect to the internet, and we have a lot of bigger enterprise type users, companies, if you will, who uses our services to connect and interconnect their place in Equinix. You know, Equinix also has overseas cables that cross the ocean that we own right now. So Equinix is a highly connected company, and some of your favorite apps are here. You see the sign says, "This is you online." Just think about that. When you're online now in those apps, surfing the web or playing your games, Equinix is involved in that some way, shape, form, or fashion. I can almost guarantee you that. And So that's why it's very important. That's why data centers are probably one of the most important things that we have right now, that's out there. The internet, everything is connected to the internet. And we want to make sure that we keep customers up. And that's our biggest job, is to keep customers up and keep people connected to the internet. So yes, you can go on TikTok and you can thank us for that. Appreciate it. You can go to the next slide. I think that's my slides, right? Why we work at Equinix.
Yes,
me
right there. All right, guys. So why do we work in Equinix? And I'm going to share a couple of the items that are, you know, amazing that this company provides. But we can go to the next slide. And as you can see here, these are the 3 largest regions that we have globally. And this is where all of our IBXs are based throughout the world. And as you can see here, this is just a brief preview of what Equinix offers, which, for example, you're starting a salary in your first year at $50K, right? And it's really rare to hear that right after high school with no degree, right? So mind you, this is just with the ability to have free education with Equinix. And we do offer free education where it stems from 2 to 3 year degree programs, graduate and certificate programs. But you name it, any type of training that you would like to seek with Equinix, Equinix will cover it for you. And another item, which is my favorite, granted, with the pandemic, has been a little challenging, but you get to travel the world. You get to, as an employee, you get to, you know, check out any IBX you want across the world. You'll have access to it. So that's one of the major things that we do have. And not to mention that, but you get the opportunity to work with others, with other colleagues around the world, get to learn what their departments are doing and all that jazz, and just, you know, increase your knowledge in the data center. And another item that we do pride ourselves here in Equinix is the magic of Equinix. And it is a place where we acknowledge everybody's hard work. And we appreciate, and we would like for our employees to feel appreciated. And it's definitely a place where we want everybody to feel belonging and matter while building your career while you're at it. And we can go to the next slide. And I also, so this is the candidate roadmap. So basically, this is now where the scholarship plays, where we are excited to share this opportunity so you can join us in a career in Equinix through our digital infrastructure program, which combines with scholarship, mentorship, and internship opportunities for those that are eligible. And this is how it works. So basically in April, you'll have a chance to apply into the scholarship program through the Northern Virginia Community College scholarship website. And if you're awarded, Equinix will give you the option and the opportunity to apply for a mentorship and a paid internship opportunity. And as you can see, this is the roadmap to our current program right now. And with that being said, and thank you, Damon, as well. Do we have any questions? We can go to the next slide.
We have a really great question from, let's see, it says, what roles at Equinix require international travel? So Damon, would you like to take this one?
Great question. Repeat it again, though, Daisy. I want to make sure I got it.
Sure. What roles at Equinix require international travel?
I've traveled with Equinix internationally, and a lot of some of the sales roles, some of the sales positions can offer international travel. And even if you like myself, I was a manager in the data centers, and I got to travel internationally as well. Because a lot of times, you know, we hold meetings. We try to get people used to a lot of the different data centers so they can see the different data centers overseas. So sometimes there may be a a managers meeting in, let's say, Dubai, and the managers go to Dubai, or it may be in San Francisco one year. I went to the one that was in Denver. I don't know how I made it to Denver, but I didn't get to go to the international part, but I went to one in Denver. But this is an opportunity that you can have within the group, but also there's job opportunities. So if you want to apply, if I want to apply now for a job in England or or another job in Paris, like I think that was one of the places mentioned, I can apply for that job. I can interview, and then I can get the job and travel, and I work in Paris in the data centers for however long they have me. That might be a good idea, though. Thank you.
I like that. Nick, would you mind going back to the other? We have a good question, and I'd like to go back to the slide before this. So we have one: is attending NOVA required for the scholarship and internship? So this particular scholarship is in partnership with the Northern Virginia Community College, and so as Joss mentioned, what will happen is in April they're going to give you the opportunity to apply for that scholarship, where you will first have to sign up for to be a NOVA student, which is really straightforward, really simple. You'll get an email from them, and then with that you would apply for the scholarship, which covers up to $5,000, which essentially what that does is covers your full tuition for 2 full-time semesters for the computer science degree in engineering technology. And so the idea is that as soon as you are granted that scholarship, you would go through your first 2 semesters, and then you would be eligible for an internship opportunity with Damon. So Damon would be walking you through your internship opportunity. It is a phenomenal paid internship. It has 12 weeks where you'll get to see really why, how operations comes together, and you'll get to see different things from security, physical security, to why our budgeting and financing, how that works, and the tech side of things, engineering side of things. So you'll get a really well-rounded view of what it's like to work in ops. But even better, as soon as you are awarded that scholarship, you also have the opportunity to sign up with us for a mentorship opportunity as well. And that would start just about immediately once you've been awarded and you start your journey through the NOVA program. And what our goal is with that is, when you'll have questions, you'll have lots of questions as you're graduating from high school, and we want to make sure that we're helping you through that process and helping you alongside of all of your great professors that you're going to have at NOVA and your community. We want to make sure that you have a mentor that's there as well, that's really specific to operations, so that you can start learning the ins and outs of the industry and learning the ins and outs of how operations works at Equinix. And they would essentially follow you through until you are, essentially graduated from the internship, which then opens you up for an employment opportunity. And like Joss had mentioned, these employment opportunities can start off at around $50,000. So just think about that. So you graduate from high school, and then you apply for the scholarship. If you get the scholarship, you don't pay anything to go and get 2 semesters full-time in school, and then you have a paid internship, and then a possible opportunity of starting your whole career that starts at $50,000. And so where does traveling come into all of that, and which positions require traveling? So not every position requires traveling. So it's you have a choice, because we are a global company, to apply for positions anywhere that we have in the world. Some of our positions, say you start off as a technician, and then you decide you want to be a senior training manager like Damon. He's traveled Miami recently, and he has to travel around for his job, for his position. Or say you want a more global role, and you decide that you want to work in network ops, right? And so you want to work in network ops, and so it's possible, because if it's a global network ops, that you might end up having to travel to Hong Kong and to Paris and to some of these other places. And so really what we're offering here is your opportunity to really start to understand the industry and start your career, so that you can just take that really as far as you want. There's so many different career paths. You can if you really like the tech work. There's a lot of career paths within technicians. There's engineering side of things, network ops, obviously cybersecurity, something that is of interest to pretty much every tech company right now. So there's just a lot of different opportunities. So we are excited because, again, this is really just a fantastic program that really gives you everything that you need and sets you up for success in this industry. So let's see, what other questions do we have here?
Another great question, Daisy, that I've been seeing is regarding high school versus seniors and juniors, if they can apply.
So this is for graduating high school seniors. However, that doesn't mean that it's never too early for you to start thinking about, what data center industries, what the data center industry offers. There are some opportunities through Nova, if you connect with Nova, where they're offering bridge programs, and you'd have to reach out to them for more details on that. But they're offering bridge programs that aren't necessarily for graduate, seniors yet. But I believe that those open up some more opportunities for you. But just look around and ask questions. You can always reach out to someone here at Equinix. You can reach out to me, Joss, or Damon. We're happy to answer any questions that you have there. There are classes that you can take, like Damon isn't HVAC. There's HVAC classes. So there, I know that some of your schools, there's HVAC classes that you can take, and that is a transferable skill that you can bring into a data center operations role. And so there's lots of different ways that you can start thinking about this as a junior. Let's see, what other questions? So that's a good question. So we have one, if we are enrolled in a Nova dual enrollment program in high school, are we eligible for the program as a high schooler? So yes, you'd be eligible to apply for the scholarship. We do have some age requirements to actually work in the space. And so that would be the only thing that would come up essentially when it's time for your internship, is just some of those requirements. But we would work, we would get there, we would work on that once we got to that point. But that's a really good question. The scholarship does cover really anything that falls under engineering technology. So if it's a dual enrollment and the classes are fall under that program of study, then you're obviously, you can absolutely apply for the scholarship.
Hey Daisy, let me ask them one of these questions here. I see one that just came in. Oh, what the day-to-day workload for an intern at Equinix? That's what I'm doing right now. We starting our intern. We have first intern that we hired already. That we start our day-to-day working with that intern. So he comes in on. Basically, we're going to treat them like a Equinix employee that we do all Equinix employee, except we're going to do something different. We're going to have a enhanced onboarding program where this person meets all the executive team, all the staff, work with our required training that we have, just for customer service, things of that nature, how to be safe in the data center. We have to definitely teach the safety training. Before you even go on the data center floor, all this training must be completed. But during that time, we will also bring a finance person in and show you how our budgets work. Bring another finance person in and show you how we receive POs. I have a lot of our security personnel, a lot of our controls engineers come in while the person is still training, just to get into safety training down, because that's going to take about a week, maybe 2 weeks to get that down. But in the meantime, instead of sticking them in a room and giving them training, that trainer and say, see you later, we see you in 2 weeks, we're still going to have some interaction with them. And then after that first training period and then they start working with a specific group. It's like a residency as a doctor go through. He's going to go through all portions of Equinix. So they're going to go through, he or she, they're going to go through a few weeks with our controls and security people. So they're going to learn how the security of the site works. They're going to learn how to do those things. Then it has another 4-week plan to whereas they're going to work with all technicians. So they're going to be in the fire then. They would have had a good 4 weeks to lead up to the time where they start working with the technicians. So they're going to be running cable. They're going to learn how to terminate cable, learn how to run cable, learn how to pull cable out, the deinstall process. They're going to learn how to deal with customers, irate customers that may call you on the phone. You're going to learn how to deal with some of our internal team that handles portions of data center work. So you're going to learn all these things in a crash 4-week period. Then after that, you have another 4-week period to where you're working with all the engineers. So you're going to be doing rounds. You're going to learn how to do the rounds. You're going to learn how to reset fire panels, and you're going to learn how to work on PM. You're going to learn how to work on the maintenance with a more seasoned veteran, of course. Work in maintenance. You're going to learn how to run power, learn how to terminate power, those things of that nature. So you're going to learn the whole aspect of data center. And then probably the hardest job in a data center is the shipping and receiving person. So you're going to learn the logistics of the site, how to order things, how to keep things stocked, how to reject shipment, because FedEx may bring a shipment that's not for the data center. You just can't accept everything, and they may not have a ticket in. So there's a lot of those little nuances that you will learn. And then after that, 12 weeks is over with, we'll do an assessment and see how well you did during those 12 weeks. And that may be something we want to push to employment, or if employment is not ready, we may push to go to a contract person, but we still want to keep you in the Equinix family. If you can get through that and still love it, then you are Equinix material for sure. I hope that answered the question.
Damon, we have another really great question from Dan. Do you get to work with sites, BMS, and electrical power monitoring systems while working with the controls engineers?
You are absolutely correct. You do get to do all that. You will work with site BMS and all the monitoring systems. Falcon, we got LC. We have a lot of different monitoring systems throughout our data centers, because some of our data centers was built in the 2000s, and some of them was built in 2018 and 19. So you have a variation of equipment inside of those data centers. So you may have different monitoring systems from some company that we may have bought, that has a different type of monitor. So we have to orientate and we have to learn what is in there right then and there. So you will learn all of that. Oh, another one. We would be able to write SOPs for preventive maintenance. You will work with somebody, because a lot of our maintenances we do a lot of time. This is actually a real great question, Dan. A lot of our maintenances we do a lot, so we have them scripted. So if they're already scripted, we can just pull that maintenance. We can change the date. We can review it to make sure it applies to that particular maintenance, and then we'll go perform the maintenance. So writing SOP, you may be writing suggestions to change on the SOP, because you may work with somebody and find out that you should have opened that breaker instead of leaving it closed in that particular situation. So, oh man, I learned the lesson from that, because I was like, what happened to the power? So you will learn you learn where those things are, and you can make those corrections and work with the engineers. Oh, and Dan, you on the road, bro. All right. Do you guys leverage vendors a lot for preventive maintenance on HVAC equipment, or is it mostly done in-house? It's both. It's both. We do a lot of the in-house stuff, but sometimes we have to call a vendor in if we overschedule the maintenance, or we have a lot of maintenance going on, because at the end of the quarter, you do a lot of maintenances. So if we have a lot of our guys already scheduled maintenance, we may call an HVAC vendor in there, or we have an issue with something, we'll call an HVAC vendor in there to help us. But we do have our own chain of vendors that we use that has to be cleared. They have to have all the COVID protocols met before they can even come in our data center. So, so we do leverage a lot of the different vendors when we need them. Great questions.
These are great questions.
They are extremely great questions, and we're just about out of time. However, I don't want to stop this awesome roll. So if Daisy, Damon, and Jocelyn are willing to stay on the line and students have more questions, please stay here.
Sure.
Might be one for you, there, Daisy, right below that.
Well, I believe there's a recording of this that's going to be going out. Is that correct?
That is 100% correct. And the only reason why you see my weird avatar is because My computer was lagging with the presentation being on the screen. So you are correct, though. There will be a recording of this presentation made available.
Thank you. Well, thank you for your participation, everyone. And I'm actually going to put one more link in the chat for you. This one is going to showcase all of the different internships that we have, for at various levels of your studies. This will be after you've graduated, but if you're down the road looking for internships, give us a call or visit our website, and we have lots of great opportunities for you.